I've been Claritin Clear for 8 days.
At the first sign of your allergies, doctors recommend taking one Claritin every day of your allergy season for continuous relief.
21 days. 14 days of continuous relief.
Live Claritin Clear every day.
So I need a new fall coat. And I said go to Burlington because we're beauties on a budget. Burlington has everything. Coats, scarves, hats. And the prices are amazing. If you want style and value, Burlington is the place.
Let's get weather geeky this morning. I'm going to kind of walk you through the life cycle steps of a tornado, including what first begins as a funnel cloud. As it gets organized, that funnel comes all the way down to the ground. You often then see debris. Look at the shape it takes on, very cylindrical. Then gradually dissipates. Crazy stuff.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms during the evening. Mainly clear skies after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On camera.
Oh my God.
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Listen up, Thunder Dragons. It's time to get a hotel.
Hey, Razor, check this out. We can save big with Priceline Express deals.
You know what, man? These guys ain't no dragons.
They're cool. These deals are legit.
Hey, we're cool. She's cool. We're cool. Priceline Express deals really are legit. Thousands of people book them every day. Now it's your turn to download the Priceline app, text the word DEALS to 68277, and start saving today. Look, saving you money makes us happy.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
We're still tracking thunderstorms and severe weather right now across Missouri. Here's your tornado watch. Much of central Missouri stretching on through areas of Kansas and Oklahoma right now. That watch goes until 10 o'clock. But we also have a tornado warning going on around the Jefferson City area. In fact, even reports of a wall cloud just northwest of Jeff City. And I believe we have there's the photo for you. Again, a wall cloud basically right in the middle, almost to the left center of your picture there. It's above that car that's parked in the parking lot there. A wall cloud lowering of the clouds there, possibly where we could have a tornado as well. Also a shelf cloud. Another picture we have from Ashland, Missouri. There we go, a shelf cloud looking northwest, about 5 miles south of Ashland, Missouri, which is also, by the way, just north of Jefferson City, Missouri here. And again, severe weather is rolling right on through central Missouri. I'm sure a lot of students from University of Missouri are watching us closely right now. And also Nate in Ashland, Missouri took this photo here. He said just wave after wave, sheets of rain are coming down, and he can now hear sirens from the basement, which is a good place to be when you have tornado warnings in the area. Again, we do have a tornado warning in effect right now for Boone, Callaway, and Osage counties there in, looks like this is, central Missouri here. Jeff City, you are in this as well as the town of Fulton, as well as Holt, Summit, and Ashland, all in this tornado warning until 5:45 local time. We have some rolling hills in the area, but also look at the radar, a lot of rain. So now is not the time to try to spot this. Now's the time to get in your safe place and ride this one out. Kelly?
All right, Paul, behind this front, we're talking about some much colder temperatures. In fact, we've already seen snow in the higher elevations of the west and the Rockies, but even some of you in the Midwest may get a little taste of winter coming up. Right now, we're looking at the radar showing just some few specks of blue across Wyoming and on into Montana. That's indicating some of that snow that's coming down. There's that severe weather that we're also tracking just to the northeast of Denver. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect there. So we've got basically the colder air mass moving on in. Friday, watch for a little bit of snow across North Dakota. Eventually, we'll see a rain-snow mix for some of you, even in the southeastern corner of Minnesota. Also getting into the northern parts of Wisconsin and the upper peninsula of Michigan. Mind you, it's not going to be a whole lot of snow, but certainly the first flakes of the season. Paul?
And speaking of snow, this morning we officially welcome back our winter weather expert Tom Nizzle back to the Weather Channel. And on AMHQ, he had a little fun unveiling our list of names for this year's upcoming winter storms.
The issue we're having is actually the B storm name. So guys, I want you to listen carefully here. We've looked at this, and we're really not comfortable with Bella. And so, you know, what we've decided here is we're going to take this name right out. And we're
going to take it off, Tom?
Yeah, we're actually going to erase this name right out. I'd love to replace it with something, but I'd like to give the Bozeman class a chance to maybe come up with their own B name for a storm. Do you have a favorite, possibly?
Well, we were talking about naming it Brian for Brian Norcross because we love working with Brian Norcross.
That's not bad, but I think Tom may actually have a better suggestion.
Yeah, in fact, if you don't mind, I'm going to write this one in here. I think it's going to begin with a B. The next letter is O, and then we're going to have... Yeah, you got it. Yeah, we're going to name that second storm Winter Storm Bozeman.
Yes.
All right, guys, what do you think?
All right.
Oh, they were so excited to see Bozeman on. At first, they probably thought, what's he doing, Bozo? Like,
Bozo, the winter storm. I get a lot of mileage out there. But again, those are the high schoolers from Bozeman, Montana. In fact, their Latin class helped us develop last year's list of winter storm names.
But here is this year's list, the full list of this year's upcoming winter storms. You can see Astro, Bozeman, all the way down the line. You'll notice something toward the end, though. Those question marks where the W should be, that's where you come in. We are asking for your help to name that storm.
And right now, here are your choices: Warren, Wilda, Willie, Woden, and even Wolf. So which name do you think is more fitting for a winter storm? You can vote at weather.com or on our Facebook pages.
Winter storm naming is brought to you by State Farm. When nature strikes, State Farm is there to get you to a better state.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's two guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's two dudes on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Breaking news from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Seeing two men that have climbed the Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Talk to a State Farm agent about car loans that can save you hundreds. That's borrowing better.
Nothing draws attention like confidence and the perfect sport coat. Right now at Men's Warehouse, select sport coats are on sale for just $99.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on almost everything else in store. Confidence in every look. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
Apples are good. As Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
What's in a can of Del Monte green beans?
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaf.
Grown
grown in America, picked and packed at the peak of ripeness, with no artificial ingredients. Del Monte, bursting with life.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Behavioral Health of the Palm Beaches Recovery Center for Men provides quality, evidence-based treatment to men battling addiction. Offering medical detox, expert counseling from licensed clinical therapists, and activity-based therapies, we help men overcome their addiction and rebuild their lives. We understand the unique substance abuse issues that men face and are ready to help you take your life back. Visit rehabformen.com to get your fresh start.
The Treasure Coast is a special part of Florida. It's why people retire here. It's why Bob and I moved here to raise our daughter, and I believe it needs to be protected. That's why I've worked hard to find funding to clean up the Indian River Lagoon and Loxahatchee. And it's why I voted to cut taxes and fees for our seniors and small businesses. Our community is worth fighting for, and I am just getting started.
Everything must go.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms during the evening, mainly clear skies after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, guys, we're continuing to watch severe thunderstorms work their way across Missouri, now working their way toward the Kansas City area as well from the south. So those storms are moving more in a northerly direction, and we've got this lone supercell, which continues to roll through southeastern Kansas, heading toward Joplin. At times, it has had tornado warnings on it, and both of these areas, with this storm and the one up here, which is moving through Jeff City now, have produced some very nice shelf and also wall clouds. So we've got certainly the chance for a tornado. So far, we've lucked out, but we have had some wind damage and even some power outages. For example, Ottersville, Missouri is completely out of power right now in that town. All right, so here's this southern storm. We've pretty much watched it move all the way from north of Bartlesville, Oklahoma, up into southeast Kansas, now through Columbus toward Baxter Springs. There's still a little bit of an appendage on it, so that means certainly a chance that we could deal with this thing spinning up a little bit again. But you can see where it's heading. It's heading toward the Joplin area, and no question the folks in Joplin will continue to watch this. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this off because I'm looking at some data here. We've got now more of a hail threat. It looks like around the neutral area. This is the hail right in through here. Let me use the white. The hail right in through here. So that's going to be moving again from neutral just to the north of Riverton through Galena. Some pretty heavy rain with this as well. Here's the appendage here. So the air's coming in. Gust fronts on the south side of this. So a lot of the spotters are keying in on this area right in through here and seeing that wall cloud. So they're looking at it from the southeast, they're looking up to the northwest, and they're seeing this low appendage hanging from this thing. As a matter of fact, there you can see some of the pictures of exactly what they're seeing with this. So again, kind of a dangerous storm. When it produces this, you know that it's rotating. It's a supercell. At least at this point, this area is kind of free of any kind of rain, so you can kind of see what's coming at you there. So neutral, you may actually go from rain to hail to a little bit of a clearing, and then you'll see this And then potentially, again, we'll get a tornado out of this, but I don't think so. Right now, the rotation is very, very weak, so I would doubt that would happen, at least in neutral. We'll see what happens, though, as we march off toward the east. All right, speaking of doing that, let's go northeast toward Jeff City. We've watched essentially storms that have been more supercell individuals become more of one big bow here, or one big backward C, and as that has charged to the east, we've seen some damaging wind. As a matter of fact, new reports of damaging wind coming in around Holtz Summit. Also, again, wet when it was west of Jefferson City. The reported Holtz Summit is estimated 50-60 miles per hour on the south side of town. Some tree limbs down from what we're seeing there. Sarah's holding that up for you so you can see it. So let's take a look at this thing from the high-resolution radar. Sarah, go ahead and advance these for me so I can play with the radar, and AJ can keep us on full. You can see we've got here 5:37 at Chamois. 6 o'clock will be Cascade and Herman about 6:13 as this continues to march toward the east. And I wanted to put St. Louis in this, even though the chances of where it may go may be a little bit, wider, certainly, the chance for error in time. But around St. Louis, about 8:24 p.m., so we'll keep an eye on things should this continue to march on off toward the east. So there it is. Sarah, I just advanced that by accident, so go ahead and get it back from me. All right, so interesting thing with this, you've got, again, the signature with this, a nice big comma head right in through here. Then you've got kind of another appendage in here. So there are some wind profiles on this as we take a look at the storm relative velocity. One little spin area right here just to the west of Mocaine. But what this shows me is you've got kind of a surge in the wind coming in here. You've got another one down here with this arrow, and you've got another surge with the wind potentially down here near Bonner's Mill. So this whole bow here is kind of surging, and at times you're getting some gusty winds. So Bonnet's Mill, Mocaine, and also Chamois, you're all in this as it continues to push to the east. Whether you're under one of those surges or not will be dependent on whether you get 35 miles an hour or 65 miles an hour. And that's really going to be the tail of the tape. Other than that, if we look at the radar and ask it to show us where the heavy rain is, looks like that whole area is going to feature. These red areas indicate where the heavier rain is falling. So it's not so much of a hail issue with these. There may be a little bit of hail in it, but I think for the most part it's heavy rain and wind coming in with it, which is what is probably going to be preceded by a shelf cloud. And that shelf cloud is going to look like a drawer or that low-hanging cloud coming out, and it's going to roll on off toward the east. Eventually, after that, boom, you get the rain and the wind, unfortunately, possibly up to 65 miles per hour. Guys, we'll be right back. October's here, and so is the Niz.
Lowe's presents How to Say Goodbye to 1993 Forever.
Goodbye.
Now get free installation when you buy Stainmaster carpet and pad at Lowe's.
Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? The last thing you need is some guy giving you a new catalytic converter when all you got is a loose gas cap. Let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of that good old Midas touch. You know what? I'll drive. I really didn't think this through.
Get the Midas Touch maintenance package, including an oil change for only $24.99. And here's the deal. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $25. Oil, tires, brakes, everything. Trust the Midas Touch.
Boston Market has food that makes you feel good, starting at $5.99. With salads and sandwiches, market bowls, and your favorite meals, all featuring our signature rotisserie chicken. Come to Boston Market today, where good food meets fresh thinking.
Check.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Apples are good. As Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
My goal was to finally get in shape. Not to be focusing again on my moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis. So I finally made a decision to talk to my dermatologist about Humira. Humira works inside my body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to my symptoms. In clinical trials, most adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis saw 75% skin clearance on Humira, and the majority of people were clear or almost clear in just 4 months.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Set a new goal today. Ask your dermatologist about Humira, because with Humira, clearer skin is possible.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Sunday nights. When the wind blows. The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Premiering Sunday at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms during the evening. Mainly clear skies after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On camera. Oh my God. Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Right now, at the bottom of the hour, a tornado watch is still in effect here for portions of mid-Missouri, a small portion of southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma as well, until 10 o'clock Central Time. And as a matter of fact, we've already seen severe weather this afternoon, getting some great pictures from storm chasers who've been watching these storms. Right there, you're looking at a well-defined wall cloud near Edna, Kansas, in the southeastern part of the state. This storm had a tornado warning when it was taking.
And other chasers were also on the storm that does still have a tornado warning in here in mid-Missouri. This is Mocaine, Missouri, about 20 miles east of Jefferson City. Definitely looking at perhaps a lowering shelf cloud there, and definitely a lot of turbulence going on. You can also tell some of those trees are kind of blowing in the wind there from that still picture. But still, a lot of severe weather going on right now, and the Weather Channel is your Severe Storm Central. And we're working to keep you and your family informed, the latest warnings, and also who could be impacted next. And to get more information, let's head to the lab and our storm tracker, Jim Cantori.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we're watching, again, that shelf cloud that you're just talking about, and Matt Crowther just confirmed that for us, and we already knew that, but that's the good news. The bad news is what's to the west of that has not gotten into Mocaine yet, and that's some pretty heavy rain and probably some hail as well. Looked like there was a little bit of a hail signature coming your way, so probably some light rain now, but it's only going to get heavier if it hasn't already in the Mocaine area. So it's typically those shelf clouds that precede the heavy rain and also the gusty winds. We've had winds gusting to 60 miles per hour with this. Earlier on, too, guys, there was a report up near the Fulton area of a funnel cloud. So that's on the northern side of this, up near the Comma Head. That's to the north and west of the Mocaine area. So let's get back and we'll talk about these areas in a little bit more detail because I want to get to everything here. New area to watch. Kansas City, down around Lee's Summit. Some storms. All the wall clouds that you're seeing, these great pictures of wall clouds from Petrovsky et al. They're coming out of this storm right through here, which is working its way toward the Missouri state line and up to the north. Here's our one bow that continues to work its way now east of Jefferson City and probably is going to make its way down towards St. Louis as well. There's really nothing to stop this. There's a kind of a secondary warm front in this area that we're watching these storms kind of roll down, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if that made its way into St. Louis. Louis over the next couple of hours or so. So again, here's this lone supercell in extreme southeastern Kansas. Cherokee County under a severe thunderstorm warning for hail and possibly some gusty winds. Notice how, again, it won't be long before we get into some of the rain around Joplin, but the base of the storm is still back here about 25 miles to the west of you near Baxter, or even west of Baxter Springs in Kansas. So it's kind of elongated east-west here, this supercell. So again, we mentioned McCain, which is about right here. That is where we had the shelf cloud earlier. And now, yeah, as we go ahead and zoom in, Sarah, so we can get that to come up. You can see Jeff City's in the clear now. Callaway, Osage counties, this is where we have the tornado warning. There's St. Aubert, which is actually off to the east of McCain. But the point I want to make is that McCain is going to just get into the heavier rain and maybe even some small hail as we speak. So the shelf cloud comes first. Now, if you're watching us in Morrison, you're looking off to the west. You're probably seeing that shelf cloud right now. That's what's coming at you. And then here's all the weather, which will come in behind that. So there's McCain, as I mentioned, just right on the heels of that. But tornado warning certainly possible. Here's the funnel that we had about 6 miles to the south of Fulton. You can see that right up and through here. Kind of an indication certainly of where we have kind of the push of air. Where what happened, of course, on the leading edge of that is we probably got a little spin up, because remember, the air that's coming into this line is coming in from the southeast at the surface, so you get a little bit of a friction or a little shear zone right there that causes a quick spin up. So here's McCain. Look at this off to the west. This is the high resolution radar. You can see where the highest reflectivities are. So let's ask the radar to show us what we're looking at here inside that high reflectivity. Well, we've got some heavy rain off to the east, light to moderate rain for the most part, but there's probably some hail in there. Some of these gray areas here is where this ZDR, this part of the dual pole radar, goes down very low, and that's measuring, if you will, something that probably is more of a hail signature there. So McCain, heavy rain on the doorstep, hail probably down to your south, right along the Highway 50 there. That should push off to the east. That's what the dual pole is showing us. That's what it's doing. It's basically taking this high reflectivity area and defining it for us, telling us exactly what we've got going on there. All right, so timing this out again, St. Aubert about 5:30, which is where we're at right now. Gasconade about 6:02 and 6:14 about Herman, and then it'll push on to the east to St. Louis about 8:25 at present speed. Now, this could slow, speed up, or whatnot, but if it holds together, about 8:25 into the St. Louis metropolitan area. Storms, interestingly enough, some of this is moving off to the east. Storms themselves kind of moving a little bit off toward the left in Kansas City, getting caught up in the upper level flow here. So now you're seeing storms developing just to the north of downtown, but the storms with the heavier rain are down near Lee's Summit and all the way to the west on 435 to the north of Belton and all the way back toward Overland Park. So you can see them coming in from the southwest. These are not rotating at the present time, but they do contain a tremendous amount of lightning. So we've got an electrical storm coming into Kansas City. As a matter of fact, the National Weather Service in Kansas City, I believe, had lost power earlier on. I don't know if they've gotten it back, but they did put something out on Twitter discussing that, and you can certainly see why. A tremendous amount of lightning. Sarah queries this in the last 15 minutes, almost 1,800 strikes in the Kansas City metro area, and there you can see what we're looking at. So we'll watch this, potentially a little supercell trying to develop right in through here. That'll be something that'll move from the south to the north. You can see they've kind of warned on the comma head. So Raytown, Independence, and the southeast part of the city of Kansas City will be in this warning here as we go through the next 15 to 25 minutes. Paul, we got another active day tomorrow. Not quite the same turning with height that we have today, but still a chance for wind and hail and possibly a tornado.
That's right, Jim. And also the timing of this could be worse if perhaps you have outdoor activities. Let's take you through a few cities definitely being impacted by this. The first one, Dallas-Fort Worth. Yes, even we will see some thunderstorms this far south, mainly towards the end of your commute into the 7 o'clock hour after another warm day back in the 90s there. As we slide a little north into the east, we're also watching the Little Rock area, seeing thunderstorms for you coming through basically through the middle of the day into the early afternoon hours. Soccer, football practice, you need to make sure they have contingency plans to get the kids safely indoors if they hear that lightning. Memphis, also the afternoon and the evening hours, we will see some thunderstorms. And I'm also looking at St. Louis. We have thunderstorms tonight, tomorrow, and especially tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Definitely some big impacts to anything outdoors in the St. Louis area. Kelly?
Well, meanwhile, the heat is on across the West, and that means the fire danger remains high across many western states, but especially watching the well-populated area of Southern California right here. This is where we have an elevated fire threat, a fire weather watch in effect, likely be going up to red flag warnings, especially between Thursday and Sunday when we think the greatest threat will be. We're talking temperatures in the valley, 95 to 105, but even along the coast, temperatures in the 80s and 90s. We get that very dry, gusty offshore wind. We're not getting the benefit of that nice maritime flow off the Pacific, which is what we have right now. And you'll notice that we do have some moisture right along the immediate coast, but as you go inland, we're talking dry conditions, tinder dry. We have an exceptional drought going for much of the state of California. Now, for now, the winds aren't too bad. We are seeing winds gusting better than 20 miles per hour in Palmdale. Last hour, they were gusting as high as 30. Those winds will be picking up over the next couple of days. You'll notice that the temperatures along the coast are in the 70s, but inland, we've got 86 degrees Palmdale, even 90 degrees at this hour, San Bernardino. So we've already got the heat, and it's only going to get worse. Heat advisories in effect for much of this area, including San Diego. Our 7-day forecast does show Los Angeles with the 90s, Paul, all the way until what? Sunday, it looks like.
Yeah, mid-90s through the end of the weekend, and cooler, though, as we head on towards next week. Thanks, Kelly. Well, this week, Friday Night Lightning takes Jim Cantore to the small northeast Ohio town of Massillon, a community so steeped in tradition that when summer gives way to fall, only one night matters. That's Friday night. More details coming up.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees with showers. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms during the evening, mainly clear skies after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Apples are good. As Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
I've always loved exploring and looking for something better. That's the way I look at life. Especially now that I live with a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. I was taking warfarin, but I wondered if I kept digging, could I come up with something better? My doctor told me about Eliquis for 3 important reasons. 1, in a clinical trial, Eliquis was proven to reduce the risk of stroke better than warfarin. 2, Eliquis had less major bleeding than warfarin. And 3, unlike warfarin, there's no routine blood testing.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
Those 3 important reasons are why Eliquis is a better find for me.
Ask your doctor today if Eliquis is right for you.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
I just got my first real job, so here I am at Burlington. You know, they have so many different things. You got stuff you can mix and match with. I didn't even know what mixing and matching was. I mean, I got a suit for under $100. I'm ready for work because I look great.
Ring, ring. Progresso. It's okay that your soup tastes like my homemade.
It's our slow-simmered vegetables and tender white meat chicken.
Apology accepted. I'm watching you, soup people.
Make it Progresso or make it yourself.
Snack time! On it. Isn't this my breakfast cereal?
It's also a snack.
So it's Snackeria.
Clever.
Your favorite cereals at any time of day. All at unbeatable Walmart prices. Guaranteed by Savings Catcher. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Breaking news from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Seeing 2 men that have climbed the Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose. Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Talk to a State Farm agent about car loans that can save you hundreds. That's borrowing better.
Where we go is who we are. And fuels from Exxon and Mobil help your engine run smoother, cleaner, and with better fuel economy. We are energy, and energy lives here.
We're 3 generations of one family working on a piece of land here.
Oh my God, it's basketball!
Is living and facing danger every day.
Alaska: The Last Frontier. New season. Check your local listings.
Well, as we switch into this new season, we say goodbye to some of those summer fruits and veggies and welcome in a new fall harvest.
That's right. And in the Northeast, the dry weather is having a pretty serious impact on fall produce. WCAU reporter Rosemary Connors explains.
Mother Nature can be very giving this time of year, but lately she's been stingy on rainfall.
I noticed it with the plants, the house plants, the outside plants. I'm watering every day.
The different crops all need different amounts of water.
Steve Linville, a third-generation farmer at Linvilla Orchards in Delaware County, is pleased with their pumpkins this season.
They actually will hold up better if it's a little dry. If there's too much moisture, they get fungal problems. They start to rot from the inside out. So a little bit drier really helps the pumpkin crop.
Hold that. Here, hold the pumpkin.
While the fall favorite is holding up well without the rain, strawberries at Linvilla's, which they can still grow this time of year, need some help.
So we pump water out of an irrigation pond and it comes up through the main tube. And then there's a small tube with drip irrigation.
The drip irrigation system, which runs under this plastic covering, keeps the moisture from evaporating. Steve tells me he expects other farmers in the area are doing the same thing for more seasonal crops.
Cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower and the cole crops are real big at this time of year. And if you're growing those on large acreage, you're going to need some water on them at this time of year.
Those are some orange pumpkins.
Very bright. And did you get one yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's only October 1st.
I know. We're jumping the gun here.
Yeah, before long we'll see Christmas decorations guaranteed.
Oh, I'm seeing sleds in the store already.
Dude, you went to Costco. They're selling sleds in Atlanta.
Yep, here we go. Maybe we'll get snow like last year.
Maybe there was something we don't know.
I know, right? We'll get on that. Right now, though, it's time to check out our top 5. Some pretty amazing weather video from all over the world.
Hey, check this out. A time lapse of a supercell thunderstorm rolling on through Vermilion, Kansas. This happened on Monday. And by the way, earlier, not here in Vermilion, but this storm was producing 64-mile-per-hour winds and even dropping quarter-size hail as it rolled through Kansas.
Almost looks like a spaceship coming in for a landing out there. Check out number 4. We go from severe to wintry. That's right. This is snow that fell over interior Alaska as the first snowfall signaling the end of a very short autumn. Of course, the days are really getting short now across that state.
Yep, snow on the basketball court out there. So, yeah, time to move indoors. Even snow on top of the car. And it's sticking everywhere, even to the driveway there. Yeah, it's a sign of the ground is starting to cool down as well. Fall is in full swing in our 49th state.
Well, number 3 shows us some snow actually in the lower 48. We take it to Colorado now. Pretty drive here. I-70 making for a nice view. In fact, some of the ski resorts have already picked up 4 inches of snow. They'll be open before too long.
Yeah, some areas picked up more than that the last couple of days. So, yes, the higher terrain picking up snow, and Loveland or A-Basin, usually the first across the nation to open up there in Colorado. They're planning to open up probably over the next 2 to 3 weeks, usually before Halloween. One of those two opens up every year.
Let's hope they stay open all the way through Thanksgiving and beyond. All right, number 2, showing you what we've been dealing with in Florida. Way too much rain lately, but I tell you what, this guy, he just gets caught up in it. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to watch this. If you ever think about, well, I don't think the water's that deep, look at what happens to this car. It goes off the road, probably in a culvert, and then floats because you have no clue where that road ends, where the side of the road begins, unless you do what he's doing or she's. I don't know who it is, but they need to be publicly shamed because this is what we tell you all the time. Do not do. Turn around. Don't drown.
That's right. 9.5 inches, by the way, in the Tampa Bay area. So, yeah, I know you guys are ready for a dry break. Check out number 1. Then we're going to take you out of this world. Video from Reed Wiseman's ISS crew member, Alexandra Gersh, showing a time lapse. It's got the auroras, a little bit of lightning in there, some just incredible views.
Yeah, cool view from miles above the Earth's surface. Hey, if you get great video, maybe even from space, we'd like to see that for sure. You can upload it anytime at weather.com/photos. Well, tropical depression 19E has now formed off the coast of Mexico.
And in the western Pacific, all eyes are on a typhoon that's gaining steam and could affect Japan. We'll be right back.
She inspires you. No question about that. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
All this week on America's Morning Headquarters, we reveal the season's winter storm names. And now it's your turn to write history. Find out how you can name a winter storm. Plus, get the 411 on fun fall activities for the family this week at 7 a.m. on the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, following Wake Up with Al, only on the Weather Channel.
When the wind blows, the cradle will. American Supernatural, premiering Sunday at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees with showers. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms during the evening. Mainly clear skies after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When your house loses power, it can be tough for your family. But not if your family has a Kohler generator. Restores power automatically in as little as 10 seconds and is backed by a 5-year limited warranty. Kohler generators. Keep your family flowing.
When the power goes out, you'll go on. Contact your Kohler Generators dealer today.
great for great rides. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Lowe's presents How to Work Out the Triceps.
Wow. Impress your guests. Your Choice bathroom faucets now just $69 at Lowe's.
This is Kathleen. Setting up the perfect wedding day begins with her arthritis pain and 2 pills. Afternoon arrives and feeling good, but her knee pain returns. That's 2 more pills. The evening's event brings laughter, joy, and more pain. When Jamie says,
"What's that, like 6 pills today?" Yeah. I can take 2 Relief for all-day relief. Really? And that's it?
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, our qualified CPAs, tax negotiators, and support staff know the law and know how to get your situation under control legally and permanently.
Call the number on your screen now and we will contact the IRS on your behalf. Help you end wage garnishment, stop collection calls, remove tax liens, resolve tax penalties, and reduce the amount you owe if you qualify.
Call now and find out how we can help you resolve your IRS problems.
Call the tax resolvers at 800-489-3182.
Will that be all, sir?
Thank you. Ordering Chinese food is a very predictable experience. I order B14, I get B14. No surprises. Buying business internet, on the other hand, can be a roller coaster white-knuckle thrill ride. You're promised one speed, but do you consistently get it? You do with Comcast Business, and often even more. It's reliable, just like Kung Pao fish. Thank you, Ping.
Reliably fast internet starts at $89.95 a month. Comcast Business, built for business.
Handling fees, all items are shipped to you for just $2 flat. NoMoreRack.com. Everything you love for less.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we released our winter storm names for the season, and that can mean only one thing.
Our winter weather expert, Tom Nizzle, is back, and things around here are about to get a lot colder.
It's always great having winter weather expert Tom Nizzle back in the office, but there are some challenges having him around.
What is up with the temperature in here?
I know, right?
All right, thanks, Katie. Welcome.
No ice cream? Hey, you guys are out of ice cream.
What's going on?
Nizzle.
I was wondering what happened to my car out there. No,
all the scrapes on there. Right. But the ice cream, people don't know, but our Alex, she has a big-time sweet tooth, so I'm pretty sure she ate all that ice cream.
That could be. Jim, what do you think?
I think that's a good possibility, to be honest with you. I love the plow, though. Where in the heck did they find that thing?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Exactly. Where the heck did they find that thing? Knowing the Niz, he probably drove it all the way down from Buffalo. That's awesome. And the best part about it was he turned the temperature down in here. And everybody who works with me, right, guys? Yeah. Everybody knows. It's all about being Mr. Freeze. Let's talk about what's going on here. First of all, Kansas City. If you are in and around Kansas City tonight, you are getting absolutely hammered with rain. Let's take a quick camera down at Overland Park here. Now, that's to the southwest of where I just circled, by the way. That's on the southwest side of the Kansas City Metro. But a rainy rush hour in Overland Park tonight, as you could just imagine. But I want to show you here this rain that's just about to come into Courtney. If you're watching us in Courtney, Missouri tonight, there is something that shows me that you're about to get absolutely absolutely hammered. Look at that dark red area. That indicates what type of precipitation. Is it a hail? Is it heavy rain? And that red usually is an indication of very, very heavy rain. So it is about to just crush you there in Courtney with very, very heavy rain. You can see you go from pretty much nothing to that red area there from the reflectivity. All right, let's go back and talk about what we got going on in the tropics. Here is Tropical Depression 19. Our next storm out and through here potentially is going to be a tropical storm. It's forecast to be in, you know what? I could make an argument that this thing in post is going to be a subtropical low. Look at that. Still blowing up near the center. That's the same low pressure we had off the southeast coast 7 days ago. It moved toward Bermuda a couple of days ago, then is moving off to the north. Believe it or not, 10% chance of development. Look at that thing on the Viz. Look at that thing. Just incredible. All right, so this is going to be our next tropical storm before not too long. The good news is it's not going to bother Cabo San Lucas too much. It's going to stay off toward the west. There you see where the circulation center is, very, very close to where that convection is. But it is a new TD, number 19, 1,004 millibars, estimated winds about 30 miles per hour. There you can see that big blow-up of thunderstorms around the center. And there you see it by Saturday becoming a 65-mile-per-hour tropical storm to the west of Cabo San Lucas. Now, this is a monster. The next advisory that comes out on Pahanfon is going to be pretty incredible. 85 now. It's probably going to be up around 100 easily. Look at that. There's the eye right there. Very, very small eye. But when you look at the lungs of this thing, I mean, the way that the outflow is, the outflow channels as we call them. I mean, this thing has like King Kong lungs on Tinker Bell's body. I mean, that's what we're looking at here. But it's almost like a lab. You ever seen a baby Labrador dog? Or, you know, they have these big, big paws and they eventually grow into them. That's what this thing's going to do. It's going to grow into those outflow channels. It's going to grow into the size that it is. And this is going to be potentially a monster storm, probably a super typhoon before not too long. Oh, Sarah. Look at that. This is the streamlines. Yeah, this is strong. This is the streamlines around this thing. I mean, look at the circulation. Holy smoke, way up here. It's off the charts down through here. The problem is it is going to continue to work its way. Look at that, 1,700 miles of outflow channels with this. And with an eye, it is going to come close to Japan heading into this weekend. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees with showers. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms during the evening. Mainly clear skies after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Weather Center Live, and this right here is a look at how warm it was today in the South and the Mid-South. 86 in Atlanta, 90 degrees in Jackson, Mississippi. St. Louis, you hit 88. Don't get used to this. Huge changes coming this weekend. 20, some areas 30 degrees cooler than what you're looking at right here. And that's a look at the highs. Wait until you see just how cold it's going to go, what the lows look like. We're going to break that down for you coming up. Also, right now tracking potential scenes like this. A gorgeous shot right here. This is a time lapse showing a big storm moving through earlier this week. However, we are still seeing some storms right now, some developing storms as we talk. We're going to look at this video a little bit closer, but we're also going to break down that severe threat that we have right now. And right now there is a tornado watch. Conditions favorable for the development of tornadoes in parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. This is Weather Center Live. I'm Chris Warren. Let's get right to Storm Tracker Jim Cantore, keeping an eye on this severe weather threat. Jim.
Yeah, guys, we've watched quite a few thunderstorms this afternoon, starting off in west central Missouri, moving on to the east. We're still keeping an eye on that cluster. It could hold together and actually make its way in towards St. Louis. So there's that cluster right there. New storms have formed and moved into west central Illinois. We've also got another area of thunderstorms now, which has almost moved back in the same spot that the storms that are heading towards St. Louis are. And they've also moved. We've got one batch moving to the east and another batch moving right into the Kansas City metro area. And this lone supercell down to the south is starting to weaken, thank goodness, as it's making its way toward Joplin, but not before producing baseball-size hail around neutral Kansas. Justin Drake sent me a picture on Twitter, and that thing was huge. Big baseball hail down there with that storm. It looks like it's starting to weaken now a little bit. Now, you'll notice the front is still back into north central Kansas. All right, so you've got a cold front back in through here. We're dealing with a warm front, which is through St. Louis earlier on. Then a rain-cooled boundary, which is really where a lot of these storms fired up and got a little bit of help, a little enhancement on the north side of these, where we had some wind, some inflow coming in, and they did rotate. So we had some funnel clouds. Sedalia had some wind damage there, and even Jefferson City had some wind damage as well. So we're keeping an eye on all these storms for you. And look at that Lone Ranger down there making its way into the Joplin area. As a matter of fact, there's thunder right now and lightning in the Joplin metropolitan area. All right, so here we go. Nice to see it dissipating, though, right? I mean, you kind of see the hook almost disappearing on the backside of this thing as it's becoming more downdraft dominated. We like to see that. Hopefully we won't see any warnings past this once it moves past the Joplin area, but a little light show before it moves on, and there are some ground strokes in there, so be careful out. All right, Callaway, Montgomery, Osage County. Thank you very much. Guys, when you send me a tweet telling me how to pronounce your town, I really appreciate that, and I want you to know that, because I don't know 4,000 towns. I just don't, especially ones that I haven't heard about. So this is Chamois right here. Chamois is how you say that. The end S is silent, as the gentleman told me on the tweet, and I really appreciate that. So storms moving through Chamois, continuing to work their way on off to the southeast. There is a chance that if this holds together, it's going to make its way toward the Kansas City area. So a little hail to the south of the highway here, Highway 50. Yeah, we'll see if it builds north toward Gasconade. We'll see if it does that. Looks like we're getting a little bit of wind on the backside of this coming in as well. So maybe some wind-driven hail. We'll have to watch out for that again to the south of Gasconade as this continues to move on to the east. So it has a chance of coming across I-70 again, but the most severe part of it is south of the interstate. And hopefully it will stay that way. New storms developing there into parts of Illinois, and then back into Kansas City as well. Some pretty heavy rain as well. So we need to watch this. Last night we had heavy rain in Nebraska. We'll see where it lines up tonight. There's a lot of moisture, even some 70-degree dew points that were moving north today. So here we go. We're almost back where we started again with another thunderstorm complex near Sedalia and down toward Highway 49. We'll keep an eye on these because certainly one could surmise that there is air flowing into these, and these little appendages on the eastern side of this could rotate a little bit. So these are things that we're going to watch. The air is a little bit more stable because of earlier storms. Good call, Sarah, on that. Let's take a look at the storm relatives. You can see inflow coming in here, so maybe a little rotation to the north of Leesville. Another area we're watching here just east of Fairview, and then potentially another area here on the southern part of this here down to the south of Appleton City. So we'll watch all this stuff, guys, as it translates off to the east. Leesville, keep an eye out. Looks like one of these storms is trying to break off on its own and potentially rotate. That is the possibility. That's right along that old rain-cooled boundary from earlier on, Chris. It is still hanging around and unfortunately is our nemesis tonight. Back to you.
Jim, thank you. Now meteorologist Mark Elliott is here with a look at what the severe threat will be heading into the weekend. Mark.
Yeah, Chris, the big question tonight is where does all this go from here? And unfortunately, we have several more days of nasty weather as this storm system moves on off towards the east. So you look at a place like Birmingham, where Thursday will be plenty of sunshine, 88 degrees. Once you get into Thursday night into Friday, that'll be your big chance for storms. Now, it's not as clear cut as we head towards the east. However, there are some things that would favor some big storms still. This big dip in the jet stream is going to be deepening as it moves towards the Ohio Valley. The question is, how much of this moisture is going to surge this far north? There's a chance that we don't get quite as much moisture to see the most severe storms across the Ohio Valley, where the winds will be the most favorable. On the other hand, down towards the south, we might actually have too much moisture in order to see the most severe storms. They might kind of rain out before they get all the way through. No matter matter what, though, this cold front is going to be sharpening, and we are looking for more showers and more storms. Across the south, Friday is going to be a rainy day as we're going to follow that cold front and the line of storms working its way on through from Friday into Friday night. As we look towards the Saturday, it does clear out considerably here across the southeast. Now, as we get towards the northeast corridor, we're going to be watching that same system for you. So Friday, it's the Ohio Valley down through the Tennessee Valley. By the time we get into the weekend, the northeast corridor, Friday night into Saturday, is really going to be soaked in, Chris. So get ready. We are monitoring for that chance for big storms there as well.
Mark, thank you very much. Now get ready for the top 5 videos. We count them down throughout the show and show you number 1 coming up a little bit later. Right now we start with number 5. We showed you this at the top of the hour. A supercell thunderstorm, this moving through Vermilion, Kansas the other day. Wind speeds up around 64 miles an hour. Some parts of the state dealing with quarter-size hail. Now let's talk about some big changes on the way. You're on Weather Center Live. On Saturday, the forecast high in North Platte, 70 degrees. That's going to be warmer than Nashville. New York City, also warmer than Nashville. Let's take a look right now at Cincinnati, Ohio. This weekend is going to be cool for you. Let's take a look right now at the scene. And here with me is meteorologist Kim Cunningham. Nice look there, Kim.
Beautiful. 80s tomorrow, but Saturday we're going to be in the 50s. So it is going to be a huge change. A lot of folks like to go to Findlay Market, do their shopping Saturday morning. It is going to be cold, and the Bearcats play at home Saturday night. It's going to be a cool night for them, too.
Now, you've spent some time there.
A little bit. 20 years, maybe.
Well, I mean, is this going to be welcome for people? Or when you look at this and they see that going from the 80s to the 50s?
Yeah, I think they're ready. October, you're ready. You know, the Brewery District will be very busy this weekend.
All right, Kim, thank you very much. We're going to break down the temperatures coming up.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Block 19's on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Dad, I know I haven't said this often enough, but thank you.
Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Is your weather geeky this morning?
Make AMHQ your morning show. America's morning headquarters. Weekday mornings starting live at 7 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees with showers. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms early, becoming mostly clear after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8. Coming up next.
Hey, have you guys heard about probiotics for digestive health? Yes, and did you know that TrueBiotics is a daily probiotic that helps in 2 ways? It supports digestive and immune health by working in your gut, where 70% of your immune system lives. Try TrueBiotics today.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Breaking news from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Seeing 2 men that have climbed the Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose. Okay, he's getting the hose. All right, let's go.
Talk to a State Farm agent about car loans that can save you hundreds. That's borrowing better.
This is Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren, and this is a look at what we can expect as far as some warm air that we're going to have ahead of a cold front. And this is a look at just how warm it was today. Almost 90 in St. Louis. Springfield, Missouri, 87, 90s in Dallas and Jackson, Mississippi. And you're still going to be dealing with that warm air for now. It's going to be warm again tomorrow. And let's take a look right now at what you can expect in Buffalo as we're looking at the temperatures right now, where we're dealing with some of the warm air. In fact, your average high this time of year in Buffalo is 64 degrees, 77 expected for tomorrow. And then again, on Friday, you're going to see 77. And tomorrow, taking a look at the average, you see that little red triangle that indicates warmer than average. The number next to it is just how much warmer than average. In Nashville, tomorrow it's going to be 12 degrees warmer than average. Looking at the Northeast, a lot of yellow, a lot of orange on the map. Those are your warmer colors if you know your color wheel. And it corresponds with the warmer temperature. Still in the 70s, 13 degrees warmer than average again in Buffalo. Burlington, 12 degrees warmer than average. Pittsburgh, your average high this time of year, 68 degrees, and then mid-70s. Now, if you like the cooler weather when it's October, it's now October, we have some good news for you. Cooler air is on the way. Here's meteorologist Kim Cunningham once again to talk about that cool weather, Kim.
And Chris, what's so funny is Tom Nizzle, our winter weather expert, just came down to Atlanta. He's from Buffalo. They're going to be in the mid-70s. So he comes down here. Now Atlanta's going to get cold. And anyway, so it looks like he's bringing the cold air with him.
It sure seems that way.
It sure seems that way. Yeah. Let's talk about everybody else who's going to see some of that cool air coming in. All right, let's just call it cold air because it is going to get cold. Look at the dip in the jet stream. Look how far south the jet stream is. North of it, you're in the cold air. So temperatures will be 15 to 20 degrees below the average, including here in the Northeast. Chicago, including here, every time 68 degrees. 61 on Friday, only 50. Now, we're talking about your highs, not your lows. 50 degrees on Saturday, 56 on Sunday. So a slight warming trend as we get towards the latter part of the weekend. But I'll tell you what, you will be wearing jackets out there on the Magnificent Mile, doing your shopping. 51, again, Friday here in Chicago. Cincinnati dropping to 56 after 87 degrees tomorrow. Huge temperature change for you guys. We get to the Northeast. Sunday, we've got a couple games. The Eagles playing at home. The Giants at home. Temperatures not bad in the 60s. That's cooler than we've seen. Buffalo in the 50s. Pittsburgh in the 50s. So you get the idea. We're going to see the cool down, but we're going to warm up before it happens. Minneapolis, 40s on Friday. Then we see that warming trend back to the 50s on Sunday. But you know what? That's still below the average. So, Chris, again, the cool down is on the way. I think a lot of people are ready for it. I know it's going to help with actually the fall color. I think the cool down. So that's good.
That's something. We know some tracker Jim Cantori is a fan of that for sure. All right. He's the Leaf Chief. That's right. Thank you very much, Kim. Now it's time to continue our top 5 countdown with the number 4 video of the day and a little bit of a theme happening here. More snow. This time, some snow in Alaska. Little sign of the end of what for Alaska tends to be a short fall season. Even though it is still fall here in Alaska, it's not going to look like it. Look at the accumulation on the car here. You can really tell at least a couple of inches perhaps, and then not quite going to be able to bounce the ball too much there to play a little basketball here. So we're going to take a very close look at the start for some of the snowy season coming up in a few minutes. Also, the tropical update is straight ahead. And if we can take a look at the names, this is the Eastern Pacific. Look at all the bold names there. That's a look at how many named storms, I should say, there have been in the Eastern Pacific. Now, the Atlantic, and look at all those names. You have 2 columns full, onto the 3rd column already. But the Atlantic Basin, different story. Still in the 1st column here. So the Pacific, much more active. Storm tracker Jim Cantori back to let us know if this is going to change.
Boston Market has food that makes you feel good, starting at $5.99, with salads and sandwiches, market bowls, and your favorite meals, all featuring our signature rotisserie chicken. Come to Boston Market today, where good food meets fresh thinking.
Tomcat bait kills up to 12 mice, faster than Decon. What will we do with all of these dead mice? Tomcat presents Dead Mouse Theater.
Hey, old frick.
Hey, Agnar.
What's up with you?
Funny you ask. I'm actually here to pillage your town.
But we went to summer camp together.
Summer camp is over.
Tomcat. Engineered to kill.
It's not every day that you find yourself at the corner of a little flu shot and a world of difference. When you get any immunization at Walgreens, you'll help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in a developing country through the UN Foundation's Shot at Life campaign. Thanks to customers like you, last year we helped supply 3 million vaccines to children in need. This year, help give even more. It's easy at Walgreens. Simply get a shot and give a shot. At the corner of happy and healthy.
Just tell us your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole range of coverages. No one else gives you options like that. No one at all.
No one at all.
No one.
Wake up.
You okay, buddy? I just had a dream that Progressive had this thing called...
Your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole...
Isn't a dream, is it?
Nope. Sorry.
You know that thing freaks me out. He can hear you. He didn't mean that, Kevin.
Yes, he did.
Keeping our competitors up at night. Now that's Progressive.
Let's stay a step ahead of this. Size up that and stay toasty in here. And let's not do any of this. Let's go to school. Let's go to save. And then let's go to town. So we can enjoy the view and look for what's next. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get Atticat loose fill blown-in insulation for just $29.68.
Put on your thinking caps. Evaporation rate equals 700 times the mean temperature divided by 100 minus the latitude plus 15 times temperature minus dew point temperature divided by 80 minus temperature.
PCmatic won first place in the Virus Bulletin Rap Test, the most prestigious security competition in the world. PCmatic from the United States outperformed all its foreign competition. This victory is independent, third-party validation that PCmatic is the best at blocking viruses and keeping your computer safe from modern threats like CryptoLocker. At $50 for 5 computers for 1 year, PCmatic is a great value, but PCmatic is much more. PCmatic makes your computers faster and more reliable even after years of use. PCmatic supports Windows XP, keeping it secure and running as good as the day you bought it. PCmatic has a full, no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee. And PCmatic is supported by Americans whose first language is English. To get top-rated, world-class security that also keeps your computers running great, go to PCmatic.com. That's PCmatic.com.
Yours for $19. And Ray-Ban sunglasses for just $85. Wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms early, becoming mostly clear after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about 20 minutes past the top of the hour. That means it's time for the tropical update. And we're going to give you the tropical update in just a moment. But Storm Tracker Jim Cantori is watching some storms, keeping an eye on. Jerome, what are you looking at right now, Jim?
Yeah, looking at the storms through Kansas City. Again, Sedalia under the gun. Could be some damage and wind. Also, though, Chris, remember the front's still back into Kansas. So with that jet stream still around, we're going to watch this area again. A new area being monitored by the National Weather Service. And we could see some storms also develop down in toward Oklahoma. So we'll be here for that, obviously, for the rest of the hour. And then even after that, potentially move on into our what we call local preemptions and cover that should we need to do that. All right, you know the tale of the tape. It's two sides of the coin here. Busy in the Pacific, pretty mundane in the Atlantic here. And, well, tonight continues to be that story. 6 tropical storms, 12 hurricanes, with Rachel being the latest one. We will have another tropical storm, I think, very soon in the Pacific. So we will have 19 named storms. We've already had third most active, and it wouldn't certainly surprise me to get into the 20s before all is said and done. So the areas to watch, believe it or not, Chris, this is still the low we were watching off the East Coast last week. Now it's a little bit more warm core.
Can you show us what it did? Can you draw and show us essentially,
let me see
roughly?
If I'm
going to put you on the spot, but it's just a ballpark
so
it
this
for
thing
people.
started off the South Carolina coast, came up south of New York, then went out, down toward Bermuda, went back toward the west, and then is heading now off to the northeast. That would be my best guess.
Yeah, just ballpark
and I did. And somewhere in here, we started losing the colder core. So it's actually a little warmer core. It'll be interesting to see if they go back and analyze that in post to see if they actually make it one, because it's got some thunderstorms. But now it's caught up in the shear. So it's not going to develop. But it's still got a heck of a circular. You're not going to believe this thing. So there it is. Did you take the visible out, Sarah? Okay, so you can see the thunderstorms around the center, Chris. They gave it a 10% chance again of developing, but which, of course, we don't think it's going to. But look at this. Look at that.
You can see the swirl.
Yes, you can see the doggone swirl. And then the thunderstorms off on the eastern side of the circulation center. So it's different than it was the other day. It was cold. That was the only. Today, I think it's a little warmer aloft. So I don't know. Maybe something to deal with in post. All right, there's a storm that's finally gotten its act together off of Manzanillo and the Mexican coast. Circulation, again, just south of all the deep convection, but this should line up to be our next tropical storm, which I don't even know what's after Rachel. But other than that, right now it's on its way to becoming that next tropical storm. And not bothering Cabo. There may be a few showers with it, I think, but for the most part, I think we're okay. This is going to be an absolute monster in Pahanfan. I mean, look at the eye right there. You got a little pinhole eye and what is an absolutely monster outflow channel. I mean, you've got double outflow channels on the eastern side of this thing. I mean, you've got King Kong lungs here for this. All right, and like a puppy lab, if you've ever seen the lab with the big paws, this thing is going to grow into those lungs. All right, that's what we're gonna see. And unfortunately, it's going to move off to the northwest. Look at the circulation around this, Chris. Look at the size of the circulation. Absolutely ginormous. And by the way, there's another disturbance. That's 90W, way down there near 6 degrees north latitude. So there's the visible. They're just starting to get the visible pictures, because remember, the sun's just starting to come up over there. And we're talking about something that's probably going to be a super typhoon somewhere in here, and then take the turn, potentially just miss Japan, hopefully just missed Japan. And then we'll keep an eye on what happens with this next storm, probably going to be another tropical storm coming in right behind it. So there's Pahanfan, and here's 90W, which is sitting down here about 6 degrees north latitude. What an active Westpac. Wow. Starting to crank up.
It is certainly. You know, I was starting to crank up, Jim.
Me.
Well, that's going to happen every day no matter what happens.
Yeah, okay.
But something you might not have been thinking about is some snow. More snow, and our number 3 video of the day.
Oh, look at that.
How about this drive here, driving up into the mountains?
That does not hurt. Where are we here?
We're in the Rockies. This is I-70.
Picturesque drive in Colorado. There's a lot of picturesque drive. Oh, so this is I-70 passing up through probably the Front Range.
And there's the rocky part of the Rockies right here in your face with some snow. We're going to break down what for some is an early winter. Coming up next.
Look at that. Oh.
This is our new turkey cranberry flatbread before we craft it into a sandwich. The amazingly tender roasted turkey, always raised without antibiotics. The zesty cranberry mostarda. The freshly baked flatbread. But here's what you don't always see. The care and attention that goes into it. Because what matters most is the simple, delicious ingredients that make up the whole delicious meal made just for you. And this is our turkey cranberry flatbread sandwich paired perfectly with our autumn squash soup. Only at Panera Bread.
Brighten up your rainy day with a flatbread sandwich and salad from Panera Bread.
That disease is for older people, not me. I take good care of myself. I'm active. I never saw it coming. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Pneumococcal pneumonia was horrible. The fatigue, the chest pains, difficulty breathing. It put me in the hospital. You don't want to go through what I did.
If you're over 50, talk to your doctor. You may be able to prevent it.
It's here in your floor's crevices that vacuums leave microscopic allergens like these pollens and mold spores. But the Dyson DC65 uses a self-adjusting cleaner head for improved suction on hard floors and deep cleaning on carpets, while powerful cyclone technology captures even microscopic dirt and safely locks it all in here. DC65 sucks up more dust, dirt, and allergens than any other vacuum across carpets and hard floors.
Sure wish you guys would bring layaway back.
Actually,
that way I can split my payments up into like little bite-sized chunks. Yeah, I mean, you feel me, right?
Yeah. Sir?
Oh.
Layaway is back, and it's free. Save money, live better. Walmart.
we were flattered when Regenerist beat $100 cream, flabbergasted when we creamed a $300 cream. For about $30, Regenerist Microsculpting Cream hydrates better than over 15 of America's most expensive luxury creams. Regenerist, Olay, your best beautiful.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
No matter what you're building, get professional results with Quikrete fast-setting concrete in the red bag. It sets hard in minutes. Find out more at Quikrete.com. Quikrete, for over 70 years, it's what America's made of. Sunday nights.
When the wind blows.
The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Premiering Sunday at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms early, becoming mostly clear after midnight. Low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8. Coming up next.
Tornado Central here on the Weather Channel, and there is right now a tornado watch currently in effect. This means conditions are favorable for the development of tornadoes in the areas shaded in red here, including parts of Oklahoma, Missouri, and the extreme southeast part of Kansas. We are tracking this threat. Nobody else better to track the threat in the house tonight than storm tracker Jim Cantori, and he joins us right now from the lab. Hello, Jim.
Yeah, we just got a new tornado warning out, Chris, for Benton and Morgan counties going out until the top of the hour. These are these thunderstorms that essentially have formed now almost where we started today. All right, so down to the southwest of Sedalia, watching these storms move south of Interstate 70 and off toward the east. The good news is for St. Louis, at least right now, this leading bow has become subsevere, and it's not what it used to be. And this is really what got the whole game started back here. Now it's moved on off toward the east, and interestingly enough, the atmosphere recovered nicely. We still have a lot of instability right in through here, and so you're getting these thunderstorms breaking out and unfortunately potentially producing a tornado. So again, this lead storm making its way towards St. Louis is not going to be severe, we think, but it certainly will bring some rain and some lightning in. Now, this second piece is kind of interesting because it looks like one big bow, but there's actually a couple of supercells along it that we're keeping an eye on, 3 of them that I'm watching. It's the middle one, though, that has at least displayed the best rotation currently. So there it is. Here's the high-resolution radar right near the Cole Camp area. You can kind of see this little appendage right here coming in. There's your little hook right there. And let's go ahead and show you what we're looking at here in terms of the storm relative velocity. That'll show us a little bit better on. So again, nice big gust front coming off of that thing. Here's your inflow right in through here. Kind of the friction or the shear zone where that is sitting right there. That's probably going to be where our best normalized rotation is as well. We'll kind of check that out, and sure enough, that's about right on cue for that spot. So possible tornado just to the north of Cole Camp. And also notice here we've got another gust front down to the south. This one's also got a little bit of normalized rotation on it. So both of these kind of displaying what we're looking at, but it's the northern one right now with the best chance at a tornado right around the Cole Camp area. Let's find out where that is going and who is going to be potentially in the line of fire. Sarah's going to time this out for me. Again, as we look at it, again, it looks like certainly Cole Camp. Versailles will be into this. This is in Missouri. This is south of Highway 50 this time. So Sedalia, you're just getting the rain this time as opposed to the wind damage. And we'll keep an eye on this storm too, south of Warsaw. It's trying to hook around as well, right over the Warsaw area and push on off toward the east. So really 2 of these storms, Chris, that we're watching for you that could have some brief spin-ups as they push on off toward the east. Other than that, a damaging wind threat and certainly some heavy rain. New tornado warning, I'm thinking it's probably on that southern storm. I'm thinking it's probably down here near where is Pettis County. Unfortunately, they don't come up as quickly as they do. But Chris, we'll give you a complete brief on this as we go on in time. Stick around.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Severe weather this evening. Also, snow. It's the first night of October, some wintry weather. And as we're driving up the mountains here, if you're a skier or a snowboarder, you probably relate to this. You're heading up, and you kind of start to see more and more snow. You know, you're getting closer and closer to the resort, and you start to get more and more excited. A lot of people likely getting excited about the winter season because we are seeing more and more scenes like this. That was in Colorado. Right now here at the Weather Channel, we do have meteorologist Mark Elliott and Kim Cunningham here. We're talking about snow, and Jim Cantori's in the lab. He's going to chime in as well. And talking about the fact that some people are getting excited for it. It's October. We start to see some of these fall storms bring a lot of snow. Sure. And what do you think as we look at some video going into this?
Well, I can't say I'm excited because I know what happens in Atlanta when snow happens in Atlanta, so I'm not too excited, but of course for skiers.
Okay, for the positive in the industry here, and this is today. It was overnight today. It's cold enough now in the higher elevations. Copper Mountain, they're making snow now. And we're seeing more and more scenes like this. So every day we're getting closer and closer to resorts opening.
And this is typical, right?
And the science geek in you had to love that video, right? Because you see the trees change with the elevation and the snow increases with elevation. I mean, elevation going up in the atmosphere is just like driving due north. But you don't have to drive as far north as it can be right there. So that's cool to watch.
And let's take a look right now. Another sign that winter is getting closer and closer. Fall's a transition season, so you see a little taste of summertime sometimes. And also this. There's winter weather advisories right now in the higher elevations of Colorado and parts of Montana as well.
And you know, Chris, I think in Denver, two of the top blizzards they had were in October. The top 10, 2 of them were in October in Denver. So it's, you know, I think, you know, it's not a surprise to them to get snow this time of the year.
But it is problematic still because there's a lot of leaves that are still out there on the trees. I mean, you think about the fall season, you have all kinds of tree damage when you do get a winter storm this time of year. And because you have that combo, and we have some images of that as well.
Right.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of that if we could and kind of give you an idea what Mark's talking about. And that's the thing, is you still have the leaves. It's like spring snow.
Right.
You might have some new leaves and they act like when the wind, they look like sails. In this case, they're acting like baskets baskets
Yeah.
for more weight.
And then they fall over, and it just makes a mess. And the leaves come off, and people want to go up there and enjoy some of the fall color, but with the snow, it's a little more difficult.
Right. Do we have a live picture of Arapahoe Ski Basin? Arapahoe Basin, the ski area? There it is. There's a live look. Now, you don't see the actual leafed out trees here. This is high up enough that you might not see those types of trees, but you're really starting to see the higher elevations that snow is accumulating.
The A Basin has a huge ski season because they are so high up. They can make their snow. It's a huge resort, so they open early, they close late, and people flock there every year. It's just one of many of the ski resorts that are just incredible through that part of the world.
All right, let's take a look. Do we have the picture from Telluride to speak to Mark's point about the leaves and then the snow? And here you go, Mark, in the foreground.
So you have the full fall color if you're low enough in elevation. Then you transition to the evergreens. And then if you go high enough, it was snowing this weekend. In fact, Scott, this weekend, Saturday, sent me a beautiful picture of Aspen Gold, and Sunday sent me snow on top of the peaks. So this is the transition, and it's just epic to be able to see that transition happen right before your eyes.
Okay, so that's the positive side of things. We also have to start thinking about the big storms that are going to be potentially a big inconvenience. And the Weather Channel today announced the names of the winter storms, and we can show those two here. Here they are, A through Z. There's still question marks for W, a little contest going on for that.
Right.
But again, this has helped us communicate, separate the storms. Sometimes you have more than one storm going at once.
Yeah, I think they're Roman and Greek names is what we went with this year. So.
And the Latin class in Bozeman, Montana, they help out with the names. And so this year, Tom Nizzle and the crew decided to name the B storm after that class.
It's a nice
honor.
Yes, it is. And then look at Marcus, right? Mark?
I mean, I guess I can easily pick out my favorite storm of the year.
And if you want to help pick out, again, I mentioned the question marks for the W. That's missing, but you can vote. You can vote for Warren, Wilda, Willie, Wooden, or Wolf. You can log on to weather.com to submit your vote. You'll see the link for the story right on the homepage, and the winning name will be announced on November 5th.
I wonder what Reynolds will vote for.
Honestly, you never know what he would vote for.
That's true. He might go the other way, but yeah, I think that I have a feeling that one might win.
That's a good one. That's a good name.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Let's take a look at the #2 video of the day right now. Hey, guys, have you seen this video? Mark, did you see this video right here?